Listen closely. The wind carries the voices of those who came before you, not to remind you of the past, but to warn you of the debt you still owe. We were never the owners of this land, not the trees, not the rivers, not the sky we chase with machines. We were always just visitors, temporary spirits walking barefoot on borrowed soil. And yet, we build as if we'll never die. We consume as if nothing will ever run dry. We destroy as if our children will never ask, "Why did you leave me ashes when you were given a garden?" This earth, this sacred earth, it is not our trophy. It is not our possession. It is a trust, handed to us with the belief that we would protect it. But belief without discipline is a lie in slow motion. So ask yourself, what will they say of you when the soil no longer sings? You were not born to simply survive in a system of waste. You were born to remember what they forgot, to see with the eyes of a hawk, not just forward, but around you, to feel the ground beneath you, not as concrete, but as memory, to act, not for applause, but for the unborn child whose lungs will inhale your decisions. Because every action you take today, every bottle you toss, every forest you clear, every hour you ignore the voice of responsibility, that is not just negligence. That is a signed promise that your children will pay a price you refuse to confront. Mindset must shift from ownership to stewardship, from entitlement to gratitude, from profit to purpose. The native heart knew this. They didn't see trees, they saw relatives. They didn't hear silence in nature. They heard instructions. To hunt only what you need, to take only what you give back, to walk softly, for even the stones beneath your feet have stories. But we, modern men and women, we race through life with plugged ears and poisoned waters, confusing progress with permission. We forgot the language of balance. We forgot the humility of rain. We forgot that the earth never needed us. We needed it. So change your belief system, not just to protect nature, but to reunite with it. You are not separate. You are the thunder after lightning, the whisper in the leaves, the echo of wolves calling through pine. The earth reflects the soul of its keeper. If the land is broken, it's because the mind is too. If the oceans boil, it's because greed has outpaced wisdom. If the skies darken, it's because we stopped praying with our choices. But it's not too late. Not yet. You must return to vision, not the kind made of numbers and charts, but the vision you were born with, the fire behind the eyes, the one that tells you you are here for more than routine, that you came into this life to be a protector, a bridge, a guardian. And clarity begins with stillness, not scrolling, not shouting, stillness. Close your eyes. Now ask yourself, if you were to die tomorrow and the earth could speak, would it thank you? Would your children? This is not about guilt. This is about reclaiming honor. Because discipline is not restriction. It's reverence. It's saying no to what corrupts your soul so you can say yes to what completes it. The earth rewards those who walk in alignment, who plant more than they take, who act even when no one applauds, who understand that legacy isn't built in boardrooms, it's buried in roots. So dig deep, not just into the earth, but into your purpose. Because belief without action is theft. It is time to restore the bond, to see nature not as an obstacle to conquer, but as a partner in your becoming. She doesn't scream, she doesn't beg, she teaches through consequence, and soon, she will teach louder. But here's the truth. Every forest you save becomes a cathedral for generations. Every river you clean becomes a blessing line through time. Every moment you spend in awareness becomes a compass for the lost. You don't need to save the world. You just need to stop helping destroy it. Do not say, "I am just one." The tree does not say, "I am just a leaf." The wave does not say, "I am just water." They know that everything echoes, so shift. From passive to powerful, from consumer to creator, from detached to deeply rooted. And let that shift ripple into your home, your work, your voice. Because silence is a decision, and indifference is complicity. Let the earth hear you again. Let your children's children feel your footsteps and smile. Let your legacy be more than what you built. Let it be what you preserved. And so, if the earth is not ours, if our breath is borrowed, if our time is not a possession but a passage, then what becomes of the choices we make now? Let me tell you, clarity is no longer a luxury. It is a duty. Because the fog that clouds our decisions today becomes the storm that our children must weather tomorrow. You can't live on autopilot anymore. Not when every action, every habit, every sacrifice you dodge or commitment you delay carries weight far beyond your timeline. Our ancestors prayed to the sky not just for rain, but for understanding. They listened to the wind like scripture, and they made their decisions with the seventh generation in mind. Can we say the same? Or have we drowned out the whispers of legacy with the noise of instant gratification? Purpose is not a vague dream written in a vision board notebook. It is etched into the very soil beneath your feet. And if you dare to be still, if you dare to be honest, you'll hear it call your name. Purpose is not found. It is remembered. Like the scent of pine you once knew as a child, like the fire in your belly before the world tried to tame you. You were not born to blend in. You were not born to simply exist, consume, and disappear. You were born to shape something that outlasts you. And to do that, you need discipline, not as a punishment, but as protection from the chaos of comfort, from the addiction to mediocrity, from the easy path that demands nothing but gives even less. Discipline is not restriction. It's a form of love, a promise to the child you'll never meet, that their life won't suffer because you chose convenience over courage. You think your laziness affects only you? It doesn't. You think skipping that workout, that book, that opportunity stays contained in your life? It doesn't. Because the bridge you refuse to build now is the one your grandchildren will need to cross later. We are architects of future landscapes, builders of invisible cities. Even if our names fade, the results of our discipline or our neglect will echo. And to stay in this fight, to keep going even when you feel overwhelmed, you must become adaptable. You must learn to dance in the fire, to bend, not break, to evolve, not for survival, but for service. Nature teaches this with a whisper. The eagle doesn't curse the wind, it uses it. The river doesn't fight the rock, it shapes it. Adaptability is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because the truth is, the world will never slow down for you. So either you grow strong enough to ride the waves, or you get swept under and call it fate. But let's be clear, adapting doesn't mean forgetting your roots. It means growing deeper into them. It means building wings and remembering your soil. It means asking yourself every day, am I living as the ancestor I would be proud of? And if the answer is no, then you must change, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now. Because every day you delay is a day borrowed from someone else's future. And if you think legacy is just about wealth or a last name carved in stone, you've misunderstood everything. Legacy is how you live when no one is watching. It's the love you give without being asked. The truth you speak when silence would be easier. the discipline you hold when comfort calls your name. Your children may never know your full story, but they will feel its consequences. And let me tell you, the earth is watching, not with eyes, but with memory. It remembers every wound, every healing, every footstep, every fire. And so the question is not, what will you take from life? The real question is, what will you return? But even after all this, we still forget. We forget that time is not endless, that breath is not infinite, that this planet, this living, breathing miracle, is not ours to own. It is ours to tend, ours to steward, ours to protect, until small hands, those of our children, grow large enough to hold the sky for themselves. The Native Americans believed that a decision made today must consider its impact 7 generations ahead. Not 1, not 2, 7. Because they knew what we've forgotten. Short-term greed devours long-term grace. You can see it now, in the dried-up rivers, in the melting glaciers that used to whisper secrets to the clouds. You can feel it in the cracked earth beneath your shoes, in the tension of the wind, no longer sure if it's a breeze or a warning. We built cities where forests once taught us silence. We replaced the songs of birds with the hum of engines. We traded seasons for screens and instinct for algorithm. But here's the truth you must wrestle with. You are not too small to matter. Your choices are not echoes. They are drums. They ripple outward. They shape the climate of minds, the culture of homes, the soul of nations. One recycled plastic bottle might not change the oceans, but a man who chooses to live with awareness, who eats with conscience, speaks with care, walks with reverence, that man is a floodgate. He opens the way for others. You don't need to lead a revolution. You need only to start with your inner one. Because when the earth begins to heal, it won't be because of one single man with a loud voice. It will be because thousands of quiet ones stopped ignoring the damage they could no longer justify. We borrow this earth. We borrow its rivers. We borrow its air. We borrow its peace. And what we borrow, we are obligated to return. Not broken, not empty, but better, richer, more alive. Because our children are not asking us for money. They're asking us for forests. They're asking us for breathable skies, for fish-filled oceans, for bees and birds and butterflies, for a world where the sunset still means something, where the stars can still be seen, where time isn't rushed but honored. This is not about environmentalism. It's about honor. It's about the sacred contract between generations. It's about your role, not just as a person, but as an ancestor in training. You are shaping memory. You are shaping legacy. You are shaping home. And if you think this message is too big for you, then remember the eagle. It does not flap its wings to move forward. It soars because it rises on the wind it aligns with. So align yourself with principle, with discipline, with stewardship, with grace, with the quiet voice inside you that says, I am not just here to consume, I am here to contribute. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present, to live in a way your future self would thank you for, to speak in a way your grandchildren would respect, to move through the world with the kind of reverence that turns every step into a prayer. Because that's what this is. This life, this earth, this breath, it's not a transaction. It's a ceremony. And the truth is, we're not waiting on a better world. The better world is waiting on us. So rise, with humility in your heart and purpose in your hands. Let your legacy be one of wisdom, not waste, of awareness, not ignorance, of building, not burning, because the earth will remember us. Our children will inherit our choices, and history will speak our name. Let it say we were the ones who finally listened. Let it say we were the ones who broke the cycle. Let it say we didn't just borrow the earth, we honored it.